Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the NBA. So y'all check this out. Listen up. You know, we got the conference finals going down. Both series are 2-1, and that's good. Good scenarios going on in the conference finals. I'm loving it. Indiana, New York. Both teams ain't won. One ain't never won. One ain't won in about 30 years. Minnesota and OKC. These teams have never really won nothing. So it's good. A lot of young players, up and comings, not the mainstay. So it's good scenarios. And it's 2-1 both series. And like we were thinking, you know, media tell you after 2 wins, oh, that team gonna just sweep them. Yeah, it ain't going down like that. So it's good. We're seeing a good series, good little scenarios, monumental things going down. Now, when I talk NBA, I always say one thing so people can kind of know, how I roll. I like players that can play defense too, right? And my GOAT, or the best player I've ever seen, is Hakeem Olajuwon. That's the one I've ever seen, the most dominant player I've ever seen. And that's why I always rhyme with it. If I start a team, it starts with the dream. That's just me. That's who I seen, and I have my reasons, right? Which we'll probably talk about. And I know we live in a society where if somebody says who's the GOAT and who's the best, you got to say Michael Jordan. And for a few younger players, it better be LeBron James. Everyone has arguments. Michael Jordan won 6 titles in a row. That's his argument, never going to a game 7. LeBron James, you're going to have to acknowledge this longevity on a high level. Even though the league has changed a little bit, it's a little softer, but still, he's LeBron James in his 22nd season is not an also ran and just I'm out here, hanging around a little bit. No, he's still somebody a go-to guy. So, lots of arguments. But when it comes to Hakeem Olajuwon, guys, I'm just going to give you an opinion of a former player, a champion, 2-time champion with the Boston Celtics, Cedric Maxwell. Used to call him cornbread. Cedric Maxwell was pretty good player, power forward / small forward. Now he, wasn't the go-to guy in his team, but he did win a MVP, a Finals MVP, I think it is. And you don't do that if you're just an also ran. So this is not anybody playing on the same team as Larry Bird, the legend Larry Bird, and Larry Bird a bad boy. Everybody know that. If you older than 30, you better know who the hell Larry Bird is and how awesome this boy was. Larry Bird was ridiculous. Larry Bird was so awesome. As a white dude, he'd get the ass if you let a white dude check him. He would get upset about that. If you see a lot of, you can just put that in Google or YouTube and you'll see NBA legends talking about that. He didn't even like if a white guy stuck him. Don't be putting no white dude on me and defending me. He got upset about that. And he'll drop 50 on you to do some stuff like that. That's how he was. So Larry Bird had a complete game. And he's done a lot of legendary things. So this guy, Cedric Maxwell, played with him. And Cedric Maxwell was on a podcast the other day. I think it was a Nightcap with your boy Shannon Sharp. And he was asked who's the best player. And he just said, Hakeem Olajuwon. Right? And his point is similar to mine. It's like, listen, the guy dominated on both sides of the ball. Right? Dominated. Not just also ran. And here's what I'm just going to say. I'm just going to take over now. And that's what I always say. If you say, who's the best defensive center of all time, Hakeem Olajuwon's name is going to come up. It's going to probably be the first name you say, or it might be after Bill Russell, who was also a good defensive center back when it was only about 2 people over 6'8". But still, Hakeem Olajuwon had more parity on the center position. It wasn't like Bill Russell's hardest opponent was Wilt Chamberlain, which was not an easy one to be having. But I'm talking about Hakeem had a whole lot of people. The Patrick Ewings, the David Robinsons, the Shaqs, the Rick Smiths, the whoever. And I'm missing a whole lot of them. He had a whole lot of centers. Center was the hardest position at the time. And Hakeem Olajuwon dominated them all. All. So he leads the all-time list in blocks. And he leads the all-time list in steals from the center position. Not the Jokic steals. I'm talking about I'm on you and I'm stealing the ball from you if you try to face up on me. or if you try to throw that ball in there from the point guard, throwing it in there to the center, don't do that. It's getting took. So he's really the best defensive center in history. And I haven't said anything about his offense. His offense, if you say who's the best offensive center ever, his name is coming up. Maybe right after Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's or something, because Kareem had the sky hook. The Dream had the dream shake and the best footwork the world has ever seen, probably on any position. But at center, no one's even close to his footwork. For you young guys, it was a quicker Joel Embiid, right? Hakeem had a mid-range game, a fall-away game, jump hook game, up and under game, drop step game. There's nothing. And if three-pointers were necessary back then, he would have been able to do that too because he can shoot and he would make his free throws. I ain't going to say maybe 80%, maybe about 78%, something like that. Dominating both sides of the floor. Dominating his matchup. And here's the thing, when we're talking defense. Pick and roll, and you get switched up on Hakeem Olajuwon, I'm sticking the 1 position to the 5 position. Ain't no mismatch. Hey, let's pick a roll. Let's get him in the pick and roll, and we're going to get him. What they do to Jokic and all those other big centers who can't move them puppies. You know what I'm saying? Right? the Stifle Tower in them. Yeah, you know, Stifle Tower let slow-ass Doncic put him in popcorn machine. You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff. No, that wouldn't happen. They wouldn't do that with Hakeem. You understand? They'll be like, let me get the guy who normally sticks me because I ain't trying to go get embarrassed with Hakeem. And if I think I'm past him, they get that Antetokounmpo treatment. I'm coming behind you and attacking that stuff, right? Oh, even Michael Jordan says he was going to start a team. He's starting with Hakeem Olajuwon because he has no chance of losing if he has Hakeem Olajuwon. And for those who always are talking about, well, they wouldn't have won if Michael Jordan didn't go on his sabbatical. Well, they had a winning record against the Bulls and during that time. Why don't you Google that? When the Bulls would play them, the Bulls would lose most of the time, like about 70% of the time. They had a great record against the Bulls. And I'm just talking about the team with Otis Thorpe, Robert Horry, Smith and Maxwell, Kenny Smith and Maxwell, none of them of which are Hall of Famers or all-stars. Sam Cassell coming from the bench. My man, I forget my man. He wasn't American, dark brother. Forget his name. It's with an H, I think. You know, it's like a Spanish type name. He would come in to do some work. What I'm trying to say here, Hakeem Olajuwon wasn't playing with super duper great players, and was still won 2 titles, right? I'm just saying, in that second title from the 6th seed, when it going on all the way to the top, that's when they got Clyde Drexler, the end of his career, Clyde Drexler, right? That's what I'm saying. So the prime Hakeem Olajuwon should be in the GOAT conversation a lot more. And for those who just, you know, we got to say Michael Jordan, just remember this. Hakeem Olajuwon did not play with nobody close to the talent of Scottie Pippen. Okay? Not close. Scottie Pippen is better than Michael Jordan in everything except scoring. He's a better rebounder, he's a better facilitator, and a better defender, if we break it down. On-man defender, pass lane defender, shot blocker, move those puppies 90 feet, stopping, making Magic Johnson can't even get into the defense. Scottie Pippen, that's what we're talking about. He got a player of that caliber. Switch positions, put Michael Jordan on the Houston Rockets and put Hakeem Olajuwon on the Chicago Bulls, we would have had some similar results. Trust me. So what I'm saying is what Cedric Maxwell is saying. The best dude I've ever seen, right? Regardless of what y'all talking about, is Hakeem Olajuwon. And again, if I start a team, it starts with the dream. That's the theme. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.